1st day of 2013, instead of doing New Year's resolutions, which I didn't really want to do in the first place, I've decided to do a video for you guys about the apocalypse. Woo-hoo! As you all know, we survived another one last year, and if you are about the same age as myself, you've survived like 4 or 5 already. Now, I've seen a few YouTubers do videos on the apocalypse and how it just could not, would not, will not happen. And, you know, they were right. Haha. But nothing contained the information that I wanted to know. So like any good college student, I did nothing about it for quite a while. I looked it up, and I thought you might like to know, because I like to know things. Fun fact, here on my list of fun facts, the first prediction was made for 634 BCE. That was just for the destruction of the city of Rome. So what had happened was this dude Romulus got 12 eagles supposedly sent to him, and these 12 eagles gave him a prophecy of the destruction of Rome, the end of Rome's time. And only Romulus knew. He told no one. Nobody knew but Romulus, because he was special. But everybody really wanted to know. So they just started making predictions. They were like, oh, 10 years for each of the eagles. 120 years after Rome's start, obviously it's 634 BCE. That's when Rome's gonna end. That was the first, like, apocalyptic sort of prediction, but considering it was just for a civilization, it wasn't really worldwide, global nonsense, even though the Romans knew that there were other things outside of the Roman Empire. A little bit stuck up, a little bit selfish, a little bit self-centered Rome. Now, going down this list of about 144 years that the apocalypse has been predicted to happen on, there seems to be about 3 kinds of apocalyptic predictions. Now, there's the stragglers here and there, but the majority can be lumped into 3 kinds. Now, with over half of these apocalyptic predictions being religious, it is definitely going to be the first kind of apocalyptic prediction. It includes Jesus' second coming, the rapture, the millennium, which is not the next 1,000 years, but is the 1,000 years in which Jesus comes and everything is hunky-dory for 1,000 years. This category also includes some of the Judaism predictions and some of the Islam predictions, but considering there was 1 or 2 of each, they don't really make up that much of the category. What is a big part of the category, a little over 10% of the overall number, is people saying, oops, it didn't happen, I was wrong, it's definitely going to happen this time. Now, the first full-on, whole-world apocalypse was predicted by Martin of Tours for the years about 375 to 400 CE. This is when he said that the Antichrist, he'd already been born, but he just needed time to mature so that he could gather all his power, and then the world would end. World apocalyptic predictions is the cause and effect. Something big happens, so the effect is everyone thinks the world is ending. Completely understandable, right? One that I think is completely understandable is in 1666. Now, the whole 666 and the date thing doesn't really do it for me, but 100,000 Londoners had died by that time of bubonic plague. Not to mention the Great London Fire. Now, dead people everywhere, illness sweeping the nation that nobody can stop, and fire, it's definitely got to be the end of days, right? Now, inching a little bit more towards the science end of things, we had a physician in 1654 who believed that the end of the world would be caused due to a nova that had happened years earlier in 1572. Then there's the sciencey science predictions by scientists who get paid to do science in labs and science. There's James Casting, who predicts that the world will end in the year 500 million due to the levels of CO2 in the atmosphere dropping so low that Earth can no longer sustain life. Now that seems a bit more reasonable than the Mayan calendar just ending. Some of my favorite predictions for the apocalypse are the end of the universe. Not just Earth, because that's predicted to end in maybe about 1 billion years by overheating. If not, then 5 billion years when the sun engulfs it. But then there's the whole universe. When does the whole universe die? There's a couple predictions. There's a prediction for the year 22 trillion, which is the Big Rip universe prediction, where the universe is so far expanded that it begins to tear itself apart. And then there's the prediction for the year Google, which is 10 to the 100th. Now the theory for the year 1 Google is that the universe will have lost all of its free thermodynamic energy, and there will not be enough heat to sustain either life or motion. Now that's pretty impressive. That's the whole universe stood still, frozen, literally. So in the meantime, just to be safe for the future of everyone send a thank you note to the doctor.